How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. So it is a new video on the 30-day video upload challenge, and it is super late on this upload. Well, super late for me. I don't know what time it is for you, but for me, it's extremely late, and it is actually a little bit past midnight. I did try to get started before midnight, so technically I count this as being on schedule, but I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with my cord here for the power cord for my computer because the cat decided that he was going to eat it. So I have a new one on order that should be here within a couple days. Let's hope that I am not completely unable to play Runescape or do YouTube or anything in like a day or two. But we'll see how it goes. It should be here anytime soon, but yeah, hopefully. I just hope that I'm able to continue doing my uploads because I do not have any way to power this laptop, and this laptop has everything on it that I need. So yeah, let's hope it works. So what I'm going to be doing actually is I'm going to try to answer. I get a lot of common misconceptions by players, and it sometimes can create like an argument. Most of the time I'm just like, well, you do whatever makes you happy and everything like that. But I try to give some advice. So I'm gonna bring up maybe a couple different topics in the next couple days here about some things that some players do or some like decisions that they make that could be a much better decision that can have a much better outcome. So what I want to like show here real quick is going to be one of like the biggest issues that newer players have, or even players that aren't new but they've been playing a long time and they just kind of refuse to change the way they're playing. And hopefully after this video, give you guys some little bit of insight on maybe how you should maybe change some of the ways you play the game if you want to get way further. And by way further, I mean just way further in general, like skill-wise, achievements, GP, whatever you're trying to go for, this will actually have a pretty big impact on that. So let's say that you are a person that is doing something like, let's say you're doing a money-making method that doesn't necessarily give you hardly any EXP. So you're basically just grinding a money-making method. And let's say that it ranges anywhere from 1 million to 3 million per hour, because that's what most players that I meet and most players that bring up this kind of, they kind of fall into this trap I'm about to show you. Most of these players, the value is somewhere between 1 and 3 million gold per hour. So I'm actually going to put up here, a 1, and then I'm actually going to put up the, I'll put right below it, I'll put the 3. So both of the two main examples that I end up getting, and I'm going to try to move this so my face is, I just need a little bit more room to put my face somewhere else. Sure. All right, so we've got right here where someone who's making 1 million gold per hour, and then someone who's going to be making 3 million gold per hour. Now, here's the problem with the methods that I'm specifically talking about right here, and this is methods that where they don't make hardly any they don't make any kind of gains in their account besides the 1 to 3 million gold per hour. Like making unfinished potions, that's a prime example. A lot of people do that. They're like, but I'm making good money. Or making rune bars, like actually making the bars, not like not smithing with the bars, like making rune 2Hs or something like that, but actually making the bars themselves, which is closer to the 3, maybe a little bit more at times, maybe. Anyway, all these methods I'm really talking about, guys, are going to be in the 1 to 3 range, but they also apply to other ones too that are like even 4 or 5 or whatever. It's mostly it's these little things that don't give you EXP. So now let's say you do these 1 to 3 things. Let's say you're an average RuneScape player who spends maybe 5 or 6 hours a day playing RuneScape, which actually that's quite a bit of time, but the averages are probably somewhere right around 5 or 6 million. I have to look and see the statistics that Jagex puts out for that kind of stuff, but it's probably 5 or 6 hours a day. So if we take this one right here times 5 hours a day, that's about 5 million gold per day that you're going to be earning when you're playing RuneScape. And then we look over here and we've got 15 million gold per day. That's a terrible 5. But anyway, that is 15 million gold per day that you're going to be making if you're doing like the 3 million per hour. So you've got 15 million gold a day, 5 million gold a day, which ends up being, let's say you're playing for like an entire week. So that's like a 7-day, let's do like a full week, not a work week. So like 7 days. So we've got 35 million gold that you're making per week. And we'll go ahead and put that one right there. And then over here we've got 735, that's 105 million gold per week. So for this player, making 35 million gold, this player making 105 million gold. Let's remember that they're making very, very minimal progress in their account. And a lot of the reasons why they're doing these two types of things is because they don't have the levels required to do better things. Obviously, if you have 85 Slayer, you can go sit on Abyssal Demons, and Abyssal Demons gives you quite a bit of EXP per hour, and they also give you way more money per hour. They'll give you like 5 or 6 million gold per hour. Let's say even higher things like I don't know, doing like super high tier bossing. Like if you get really good at doing bossing, you can make lots of money. We'll just use 10 million per hour as an example, but it greatly varies depending on what you're actually killing. So that's kind of what my point is going to be right here, guys, is this. So let's say that after you get your levels and skills at what you need them to be to achieve a higher rate. Let's say that higher rate is somewhere between 6 and 10 million per hour. Let's go ahead and use 10 million per hour as an example, because the fact that the high tier bossing is definitely going to be somewhere around the 10 million per hour, maybe higher range. Obviously, it's going to take practice and etc. But this you'll see where I'm going with this. So now let's say that you are doing the high tier bossing at 10 million per hour, which ends up being on your average. You're playing for 5 hours a day here for our other examples. So that means we've got 50 million a day. Your 7 days, that's going to be 350 million per week. Now, obviously, the players I'm talking about, guys, which is your average Runescape player, who will be doing stuff like the 35 and the 105 if they're doing a whole bunch of money making, like with those kind of boring methods. These guys, so player number 1, in order for him to reach the amount of money that this player right here is actually earning in 1 week, this player has to play for 10 weeks, 10 full weeks of 5 hours per day in order for them to meet up with 1 week of this player. So now in our example, in this whole calculations here, you can probably kind of figure out where I'm going with this. So that means you've got 9 weeks. I don't know what, there, week. So you've got 9 weeks in between these two, basically, with what I just said. So it takes 10 weeks of this to equal this, which means that you do this for 1 week. Obviously, you're not going to be able to avoid doing this for 1 week. So that basically means you've got 9 weeks difference between these two. The difference between these two here, you've got about 2 weeks. Maybe about 2.5 weeks, so about 2.5 weeks. Now let's say that you do this one for a month. You do this one for a month, that's times 4. That ends up turning this right here into 36 weeks to be able to catch up to this. And that times 4 over here turns this into 10. Yeah, I know, I just put a K. That puts this into 10 weeks to equal the 4 weeks you put in here. So now I'll be able to explain where I'm really going with this, and this will all make a lot of sense. So what I tell these players to do is to not do these little bitty money-making methods that don't make any actual progress in your account. I tell them to put the time into their skills first and then worry about the money-making later. Or do money-making methods that might make a little bit less money, but they're gonna work wonders for your account and do a lot more, as far as like EXP for your account. Because a lot of the people up here are getting like 30K an hour, and the people up here might be making like literally nothing. Like maybe they're making 5K per hour. I mean, like no EXP, guys, like none. Person down here is getting tons of EXP from combat for doing those high tier bossing. But that's kind of beside the fact, and I'll show you here. I'll wrap this all up into one big thing. So we've got 36 weeks for this player. This player would have to play for 36 weeks, 5 hours per day, in order to equal the 4 weeks of this player. Which means that this player, now here's where it's going to wrap up. Stay with me here. That's why this player right here can essentially not do anything for 32 weeks. So 32 weeks. 32. I gotta really get better writing those threes. So that means this player right here could do nothing for 32 weeks and make the same, and obviously play for the last 4 weeks and make the same amount of progress this person does by playing for 36 weeks straight, which by the way, guys, that's over That's over half of a year. So a long time. Now, in order for this person right here to catch up, then it's obviously going to be about 10 weeks. If this person's playing for 4, then that means they can just sit there and do nothing for 6 weeks. So as you can see, you're going to play the game a lot more here and here. So what the takeaway from this is, and what this all means, is that this player right here might have spent 32 weeks building up their stats, making no money at all, and still is more productive than person A. So person A spent 36 weeks grinding a 1 million per hour thing, which there are definitely players that have spent more than that amount of time grinding a 1 million per hour thing. And they spent 36 weeks, while this person spent 32 weeks not making any money, but making massive progress in their account and probably doing way more fun things than this person did. And then they just spent the last 4 weeks and made as much as this person did in 36. So when I say stuff like, go work on your account and work on your skills, work on that max cape, guys, work on the quest cape, work on like unlocking everything, like, getting things unlocked rather than grinding the stupid little bitty money making methods that are like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Like, that's cool and all. And if that's what you want to do on RuneScape, that's totally fine. And you can play RuneScape however you want to play it. There's no right way to play RuneScape. It's a game. You could totally just you can do nothing. You could be like one of the party hat merchants that just hangs out at World 2 and doesn't ever train anything. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any of it. But what I'm saying is, if you want to be one of those players that has like all the cool capes and is able to make 10 million per hour, if you want that, then this is how you do that. You spend 32 weeks training and then only have to spend 4 weeks. This is a bad marker. Then you only spend 4. Oh wow, look how much better this marker is. So much better. Now, man, I'm gonna retake. All right, cancel this. So then you spend 32 weeks doing like probably more fun things as you build up your account, actually get other achievements besides just gold. And then you spend only 4 weeks doing a much more fun money-making method. This is obsolete, guys. If you're making 1 million per hour or something close to that and not getting any EXP for it, not making any actual progress in your account, then choose this. Now, let's look at this other person. This 3 million per hour. All right, so we got this 3 million per hour. Well, I've established now, I think I've made my point where this is pointless. So you probably agree with me by now, that's pointless. So now we've got this other person though. This other person right here is making 3 million gold per hour. 3 million gold per hour, guys, that's not bad. That's not too bad. That means if you play for a 10-hour day, you're making 30 million gold in that day. Not bad, not bad. Play for 12 hours. Maybe it's the weekend. You put in like 14 hours and you're like, yeah, man, playing lots of RuneScape. That's 42 million gold. I had to do some math there. It's really late, guys. It's like 12:26 now. 42 million gold in that one day. That's not bad. You're thinking that's not bad. And it's really not bad. But here's the problem. Here's the problem long term. And here's what you're actually losing. So over here, like I said, 10 weeks for this person to equal to 4 weeks right here. Which means that this person could spend 6 weeks building up their account. And that's definitely not even a W. That's really not a W. So 6 weeks. Now, why is this one crapping on me? And then spend the 4 weeks doing skills. Or sorry, doing the money-making methods. So yeah, wow, this marker doesn't work out. Just listen to my voice, everybody. Listen to my voice. So 6 weeks making your account get, way better. Okay, let's, we can double that time frame too. We can double that time frame and say that 8 weeks over here looks like 20 weeks over here. So it's 8 versus 20. That means you could spend 12 weeks building up your account and then only spend the 8 weeks making money. If you look at that like even longer further out, like if we do 120 weeks building up your account, and then only having to spend 80 weeks making money to make the same amount of money as this person right here. Long term, guys, it doesn't make any sense again to do this. Don't spend your time doing a 3 million per hour money making method that doesn't earn you at least decent EXP. Now, obviously, if your money making method that you choose to do makes you some good EXP, cool, stick with it, because that's making more progress on your account. But if you're doing this right here, guys, and you're not getting any EXP, you're getting like 10K an hour, 20K per hour. That's not very good. That's not going to get you anywhere in a very quick amount of time. If you're this person right here, and you spent the time building up your account first, I mean, you're going to get fast EXP rates. Depending on what skills you're training, I mean, you're going to get really fast EXP rates, because when you're doing the money making methods like here, these 3 million per hour, like I'm talking about, like smithing gold bars, or sorry, smithing rune bars, like that's a big one. People argue with me all the time. They tell me so many times about how often or how worth it rune bars is, and I'm like, no, it's not worth it. And also, I understand that rune bars might not be 3 million per hour. If you're sitting there behind a computer, you're like, I get 5 million per hour doing rune bars. It's still half of what you could be making, or less, because by the way, 10 is not where you could be. If you're doing, just for random example, if you're doing racks, if you're doing racks as a duo, that kind of looks like RAR, actually, RAR. it totally is an X, just it's too light. And you know what? I've got my own markers. I'm bringing them for the next video. Don't worry, I got you. Racks as a duo can make you anywhere from 15 to 20 million per hour. You can go do rots. You can go do rots as a solo when you get better at it. That's going to make like 8 to 10, maybe more. Who knows? If you do like Angel of Death, or you do Telos. I mean, the rates for Angel of Death or Telos, I mean, who knows, because it's all RNG based for this kind of stuff. And yeah, theoretically, you're going to make 20 plus. You can make 20 plus if you're doing like high end rage and everything like that. And there's other examples too, and yeah, I'm not going to list all of them. But if you're doing the 5 or 6 million per hour, like let's say you think that making rune bars right at the moment is 5 or 6 million per hour, which it could be, and you're sitting there doing those 5 or 6 million per hour. Now you're looking at 15 to 20. You're looking at 8 to 10. You're looking at 20 plus. You can spend all that time, 5 million per hour. It takes 4 hours to do this. So essentially, what you could have done is trained your skills for 3 hours, did 1 hour of this, and then gotten the same result. And by the way, yes, I know that 1 hour of this is not going to equal that. I get that, because you have to get the drops and make the weapons. I understand. This is an example. But anyway, guys, that's the big thing I want to show you on this one. I'm not going to get too much into it because this video is already long. But that is what I really want to explain. There are a lot of people that play RuneScape that, good intentions, and what they're doing makes sense. But the only thing is, guys, you got to think of it's called opportunity costs. And that's the damn title right there, guys. That's the title for this video. Man, I'm burping all over here. That's the title for this video and the next one. So tomorrow we're going to be talking again about some other opportunity costs in RuneScape. A couple of the things that just my major pet peeves of RuneScape that people don't take into consideration, and it's a big reason as to why they don't have a much larger bank. So I'm going to talk to you guys about that one tomorrow, which is, I mean, honestly, it should help you to be able to save a lot more money on your account and earn a lot more money on your account too. But thank you so much for watching these videos. This whole 30-day challenge thing is definitely a challenge for me. I am literally up at 12:30 a.m. and making these videos. That's because I'm dedicated to doing this for you guys, and yeah, just doing it for myself too. Yeah, it's fun. Woo! But all right, guys. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Feel free to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out at all. Comment below if you have any comments about this, if you want to yell at me about rune bars. And then subscribe if you feel like it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.